Hi, my name is Victoria Mazur, and I'm a senior at Bowdoin High School. And for my senior project, I'm going to be working on the foster care system. So on my right, I have Stacy Cruz, and on my left, I have Bunny Figueroa, and this is going to be their journey through the foster care system.
Hello, my name is Stacy Cruz. I'm 18 years old, and I've been in foster care. I've been in foster care since 2015. Okay. When I was born, my mother was too young and too irresponsible to take care of me, so my grandmother had to come and care for me.
What happened?
So, back in July of 2015, I was kidnapped and sexually assaulted by one of my mom's friends. And, I told my mom about it, and, she was really trying to, she didn't want me to tell anybody about it. So my mom told my aunt about it, and she told my aunt that she didn't want me to tell anybody. So my aunt told her that it would be best if, I say something. So what I did was I waited for my teacher to come back from Puerto Rico, and I told her. And once I told her, she immediately took me to my grandmother, and I told my grandmother. And it hurt me because I should have told her first, and I didn't because I was scared. So, after we told my grandmother, we went to do a police report. And once we did the police report, the police officer told my mom and the teacher that it would be best if I stayed with them. And I was removed from my house.
After how long?
After a couple months, that we eventually, after the whole meeting with the concilio, it was established that I will be removed from my house as soon as possible, and I won't be able to go back. So that's when I moved in with them, and they became my new parents. And I lived with them for a year and a half. And then after living with them for a year and a half, I went through a lot of...
How old were you?
I'm 15, 16. And one day we got a phone call saying that something happened between my uncle and the neighbor's kids. And once I found out, I opened up about something that I was hiding all my life, which was that my uncle was raping me since the age of 5. And once I heard that, I opened up and I said, listen, he did this to me. So eventually we had to go back and make a report. They questioned me again. He was arrested, and he was arrested ever since. We had to go to court for my uncle. And I also had to go to court for the first guy, for the other guy. So it was really hard for me because, I was scared and I didn't know. I was just really scared, and I was just mainly scared because I felt like, something was going to happen to me, and I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe leaving my house. I didn't feel safe confronting them again and testifying against them. It was mainly hard testifying against my uncle because, he was the father figure. After my grandfather died, he became the father figure. So he I had love for him. So it was really hard.
So how did Bunny become involved in your life?
So Bunny became involved in my life when I was in 5th grade. I'm not gonna lie, we had our rough patch. We had a really rough patch. Every time I see her, I'll be like, oh my God, there she go. I used to be really mean, and, I used to hate her. I used to hate her. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I used to hate her.
What was Bunny's position at the school?
Her position was, she was an assistant, a classroom assistant. And I had her during the PSSAs. I gave her help. I did. But, you know, after, you know, I didn't see her in school, I was looking for her. And I'm like, where is she? Where is she? You know, she's usually coming down by now. Like, I already knew what time she'll be coming out of class. I knew where she'd be at a certain time. So I'll be looking for her just to mess with her. And, you know, I found out that, you know, she hurt her leg and she couldn't come to school. It was bad. I was acting up. I was mad. I was like, I want Bunny. I want to talk to Bunny. So my principal called her. The vice principal called her and told her, you know, listen, this girl is wilding out. You need to talk to her. And, you know, ever since that, you know, we've built a relationship, and I'm just glad that, you know, she's in my life.
So how did the placement happen? Like, how did you go from the foster home with your teachers to living with Bunny?
So what happened is as I'm living with my foster parent, with the two teachers, I was removed from their house to another foster home because of a child abuse case that they had.
That the teachers had.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was removed from their home into another home. And then, you know, I was in that home, in the new home, for a year. And you know, she was really nice. She was a therapist, you know, she was really cool. But then, you know, we bumped heads really bad, and, you know, she wanted me removed from her house. So she put in her 30-day notice. So basically, a foster parent puts in their 30-day notice, which basically means that the DHS worker has 30 days to figure out where they're going to place you. So, you know, I called Bunny and I told her, I said, listen, this is what's going on. So, you know, I called Bunny, I called my friends, I called my mom, I called anybody that I could think of, and nobody was there for me, only Bunny. So, you know, she told me that, you know, I can go to her house. It was okay for me to go to her house. So, you know, I talked to my caseworker. My caseworker went, did the search, the house. She did all the clearances. She did, you know, everything that she had to do, and it was clear for me to go. So before they remove me, they have to do a background check. They have to do you know, check the whole house, and then they have to wait for the clearances to come back. So, you know, they did all that. She was clear. The house was cleared, and I've been with her since December.
So, how did the workers treat you?
My workers treat me really good. They were good to me. I had this one worker though where, you know, she'll like say stuff behind my back, or, you know, she'll change up the story of what I tell her to my foster parents and make it seem like, you know, I'm the bad person or something. But other than that, they were okay.
And what do you think of the system, like, overall? Like, do you think it's fair? Do you think it's unfair?
I think it's fair. You know, there's times where they're fair and unfair, you know. There's times where, you know, they tell you one thing, and then, you know, the next minute they're bringing up excuses after excuses, and, you know, it's not okay.
How would you say that emotionally, how has it been being separated from your family?
It's really hard because I've never been separated from my grandma. Like, me and my grandma have always been together. I've always been around my siblings. You know, it's really hard.
So, do you still see, like, your grandmother, your siblings?
No, my grandma, she left to Virginia, and I haven't seen her since. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Bunny Figueroa. I am the foster parent of Stacy Cruz. I am a mother of 2, actually the mother of 3 now. I have a 30-year-old daughter, a 17-year-old son, and an 18-year-old daughter. I work for the Philadelphia Police Department. I'm a police dispatcher. And this is my story about the foster care system. Okay, so I was with the School District of Philadelphia for 22 years. I was very involved. I was a SSA, Support Services Assistant. I also did ESOL tutoring and on and off disciplinary mentoring, did all of that. I met Stacy at Louis Munoz Marin. She was in probably the 5th grade. Yes, she was everything that she said she was. Not so nice to me at times. Although we did develop a very strong rapport after some time. Of course, at that time, we didn't know what her reasons for her behavior was until moving forward. But knowing now what her struggles were, it definitely explains all of the reasons why she had some behavioral issues and things of that sort. Once again, moving forward, I began to mentor her. Shortly after that, I fell. I suffered a serious ankle injury, and I think that's when she realized that we had a better communication and a better relationship than we had either one of us expected. So she continued to be a part of my life. We celebrated birthdays together, holidays. Her grandmother was super supportive of any day that I wanted to take her out as part of the family or whatever the case may be. And that's how I built a very strong rapport with her grandmother and with herself. Her grandmother being, gracious enough to trust me with Stacy. And moving forward, she disclosed the information that she disclosed. I really wanted her to be part of my family sooner. Unfortunately, my home situation didn't allow for that. So I felt really bad that I couldn't be there for her as much as I would like to be as she was going through the transition of the foster care system, being questioned and interviewed over and over and over again about the circumstances that transpired. And we got disconnected for a little while because her foster parents were very protective of her. So even though I was already a part of her life, they didn't allow me to continue to be as active in her life because they didn't really know me. And they were doing their job. So got a little disconnected there. And once she got placed with the second foster parent, she was much more lenient, much more understanding, and it allowed for a partnership to transpire. Okay, so what happened with the second foster parent was I became the respite. I think that's what they call it. Respite basically means that I then became the emergency contact person, and I became the backup plan whenever the foster parent could not take Stacy with her. So Stacy, being part of the foster care program or the agency, she's not allowed to leave the state. So at any time that her foster parent needed to leave the state, go on vacation, or what have you, I became the person, the next in charge. So therefore, I had to have a certain amount of clearances in order to do that, which moving forward, once the foster parent and Stacy were no longer compatible fit, it just allowed her to come to the house easily because I had already been through certain channels, certain processes of the DHS program itself to happen. So yeah, that's it.
So how does the relationship with her family affect you guys?
With Stacy's family,
Yes.
it doesn't affect us at all. Actually, her grandmom is thrilled that she is with somebody that she's known as long as she has, that she trusts, that we've treated her like family from day one. She's never needed to adapt, so to speak, like a typical foster child would have to adapt and learn the family's customs and things. She pretty much already knew us, she's comfortable with us. So yeah, the family is actually pretty okay with her, being in her home.
And how did becoming a foster mom affect your household itself?
Not at all. Once again, my son and her have a pretty decent rapport. They have a good relationship. As long as they follow the rules, do what the dynamic has actually gotten better, I think. She's been a blessing to me. She's very helpful. She's very respectful. It's not like if we're the perfect family, I'm still the mom, which she refuses for me to ever call myself foster mom. She's not comfortable with that. She loves me like she loves her mother. I'm no comparison. I'm not a replacement, but she loves me like a mother. So she's great at home. The dynamic actually has gotten better for me.
How did the workers treat you as you were stepping in? How did they handle you guys' situation?
They've actually been really, really good. As far as the communication is concerned.
So, I have a couple of questions for you guys. So, what would you say is your best memory of each other? Sorry.
My best memory has to be whenever she saw me coming down the hall. She just had to make it known how much she did not like me. Yes, and I made it my business to make sure that she found a place in her heart. Yes,
Right here.
right there. Your time.
Plans as far as college?
I actually want to join the military. I actually talked to my recruiter today. Signed some paperwork. I signed some paperwork, and we're getting the ball rolling. So I actually want to do college inside the military, and go on from there.
And what do you want to do in the military?
I actually, because my recruiter said that I could go in for I could be a military police. So that's something I want to do. Because I want to be in the law enforcement.
Okay.
Right. So, you want to start?
Just
All right. So, for one of the snow days, my son Hiram comes into the kitchen and tells me, "Mom, there's no school." So everybody's excited about no school, no school. So me and Hiram start to scream out Stacy's name because she's not hearing us. And we screamed so loud that she flew out of the room and thought that something was wrong. And she grabbed the crutch thinking that we were in some kind of trouble downstairs and flew down the stairs. Down she goes. We felt bad, but it was really, really funny at the time. And
I went down them stairs.
she went down the stairs. All because she thought something was wrong, but all we wanted to do was tell her it was a snow day.
They could have just texted me. They could have just called my cell phone.
No.
No, they were yelling like they were in danger. So my first instinct was grab the crutch, grab whatever, and go. But it was too in the way, so I couldn't get it out. So I just had to run, and I tripped, and I just went, and I fell.
Down the stairs she went.
Yes. Down the stairs I went. I went on an adventure. Down the stairs.
Down the stairs. I'm Bunny,
And I'm Stacy.
and this is our story.
Go.
I'm Bunny.
And I'm Stacy.
Bunny.
And I'm
Wait, you
Stacy.
said it too early.
My name is Stacy, and this is my story.